Have you ever met someone who seems incredibly smart, but somehow keeps making terrible decisions? You know the type. They can explain quantum physics, debate economic policy, and tell you exactly how many moons Jupiter has. But they still reply to scam emails that begin with, "Dear Sir, you have inherited $47 million from a prince you've never met." Meanwhile, your grandmother, who still calls Wi-Fi the internet machine, somehow manages money better, has healthier relationships, and stays calmer during chaos. What's going on? Here's the truth. Intelligence is not about how much you know, it's about how you think. Knowledge is important, absolutely. But knowledge is just information. And in today's world, information is everywhere. You can ask your phone almost anything, from baking bread to building a rocket. Knowledge has become cheap. Good thinking is still rare. That's why some people know a lot but struggle in life, while others know less but consistently make better decisions. Today, we're going to explore 5 simple mindset shifts that can make you think more clearly, make better decisions, and feel more in control of your life. And don't worry, this isn't one of those videos where I tell you to wake up at 4 a.m., drink celery juice, and meditate on a mountain while balancing on one foot. These are practical shifts for normal people dealing with normal problems. Work stress, money worries, relationship drama, endless notifications. Mindset shift 1. Stop asking who is right. Start asking what is true. This one can change your life. Most people spend a huge amount of energy trying to determine who's right, who's winning the argument, whose side should I take, who's the hero, who's the villain. But intelligent thinkers ask a different question. What is actually true? Because reality doesn't care about teams. Reality doesn't care about opinions. Reality doesn't care how loudly someone speaks on social media. Imagine 2 people arguing about directions. One confidently says, "Turn left." The other passionately says, "No, turn right." They argue for 30 minutes. Voices rise. Friendships are threatened. Someone threatens to walk home. Meanwhile, the GPS quietly says, "Proceed straight." Reality was never part of their argument. This happens every day. At work, in politics, in relationships, on social media. People become so attached to being right that they stop looking for the truth. The smartest people aren't obsessed with winning arguments. They're obsessed with understanding reality. When you encounter a problem, ask, what evidence supports this? What facts am I missing? What if I'm wrong? That last question is especially powerful because growth begins where certainty ends. The moment you become comfortable saying, "I might be wrong," your thinking becomes stronger, not weaker. Stronger, because now you're learning instead of defending. And let's be honest, every one of us has confidently believed something ridiculous at some point. Remember when we thought we'd use algebra every day? Exactly. Mindset shift number 2. Mindset shift number 2. Stop reacting. Start responding. Modern life is basically one giant reaction machine. Phone buzzes. You react. Email arrives. You react. Someone posts something annoying online. You react. Someone leaves you on red for 6 hours. Suddenly, you're conducting a full criminal investigation. Why haven't they replied? Are they mad? Did I say something wrong? Were they kidnapped? Then they finally respond. Sorry, fell asleep. And just like that, your detective career ends. The problem is that reacting gives control of your emotions to other people and circumstances. Responding gives that control back to you. The difference is simple. A reaction is automatic. Response is intentional. When something frustrating happens, create a pause, even a small one. A few seconds, a few breaths, a short walk. Anything that creates space between the event and your action. That space is where intelligence lives. Because once emotions settle, thinking improves. Many of our worst decisions happen when emotions are driving. Anger driving, fear driving, pride driving, jealousy driving. Imagine giving your car keys to anger. Would you trust anger to drive safely? Of course not. Anger would speed through red lights while yelling at traffic. Yet many people allow emotions to drive important life decisions. The intelligent thinker lets emotions speak, but not steer. Feel everything, but decide carefully. Mindset shift number 3. Stop focusing on what you can't control. Let's talk about one of humanity's favorite hobbies, worrying. People worry professionally, Olympic-level worrying, world champion worrying. Some people wake up and immediately begin imagining problems that don't exist yet. What if this goes wrong? What if they don't like me? What if I fail? What if aliens arrive and demand taxes? The mind is creative, very creative. Unfortunately, it often uses that creativity to invent stress. Here's a simple question. Can you control it? If yes, do something. If no, stop carrying it. Simple doesn't mean easy, but it works. Many daily frustrations come from trying to control things that are outside our control. Traffic, weather, other people's opinions, the economy, customer service hold music. Nothing can prepare you for hearing the same 30-second song repeated for 47 minutes. Some battles cannot be won. Intelligent thinking means directing energy toward what you can influence. Your actions, your habits, your effort, your attitude, your choices. These things belong to you. Everything else is bog territory. The moment you stop fighting reality, you gain enormous mental energy. Energy that can be used to improve your life instead of arguing with circumstances. Think of it this way. If you're carrying 10 heavy bags and 5 of them don't belong to you, putting them down isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Easy to live. R-E-B. How many clouds have you go? 1 point. Carrying S to the place. Us, mindful man. Mindset shift number 4. Stop seeking comfort. Stop seeking growth. Here's a strange truth. The things we want most often sit just outside our comfort zone. Confidence, success, relationships, opportunities. Growth lives beyond familiar territory. Yet most people spend years protecting their comfort. Imagine wanting stronger muscles while refusing to lift anything heavy. It sounds absurd, but that's exactly how many people approach life. They want growth without discomfort. Unfortunately, that's not how reality works. Every meaningful improvement requires temporary discomfort. Learning a skill feels awkward. Having difficult conversations feels uncomfortable. Starting something new feels scary. Making changes feels uncertain. That's normal. The discomfort isn't evidence that you're failing. It's evidence that you're stretching. Think about riding a bicycle. At first, it's terrifying. You wobble. You panic. You nearly crash into innocent pedestrians. But eventually, balance becomes natural. Growth works the same way. The activities that seem difficult today often become effortless tomorrow. The key is changing your relationship with discomfort. Instead of asking, "How do I avoid discomfort?" ask, "What is this discomfort trying to teach me?" That question transforms obstacles into opportunities. And suddenly challenges become less threatening because they're no longer enemies, they're teachers. Annoying teachers sometimes, but teachers nonetheless. Mindset shift number 5. Stop trying to have all the answers. This final mindset shift may be the most important. Truly intelligent people are surprisingly comfortable with uncertainty. They don't pretend to know everything. They don't need to appear right all the time. They aren't threatened by questions. In fact, they're curious. The less someone understands, the more certain they often become. The more someone understands, the more complexity they see. Think about any expert. Scientists, doctors, engineers, great leaders. The best among them understand the limits of their knowledge. They know reality is complicated. But many people feel pressure to have instant opinions on everything. Every news story, every controversy, every issue, every trend, as if saying, "I don't know enough about that," is some kind of failure. It's not. It's intellectual maturity. Imagine visiting a mechanic and saying, "My car makes a weird noise." The mechanic listens carefully and says, "I need more information before I diagnose the problem." You'd trust that mechanic. But if they immediately declared, "Definitely the engine, no questions needed," you'd probably leave.
Yet in everyday life, people often do the opposite. They form strong conclusions with very little information. Intelligent thinking embraces curiosity. Instead of rushing toward conclusions, it asks questions. Instead of pretending to know, it explores. Instead of defending assumptions, it tests them. And ironically, this humility often leads to greater wisdom, because learning requires space, and certainty leaves no room. Let's bring everything together. True intelligence isn't measured by how many facts you can memorize. It's measured by how effectively you think. Remember these 5 mindset shifts. Stop asking who is right and start asking what is true. Stop reacting and start responding. Stop focusing on what you can't control. Stop seeking comfort and start seeking growth. Stop trying to have all the answers. These aren't complicated ideas, but practiced consistently, they can transform the way you experience life. You'll make better decisions, handle stress more effectively, communicate more clearly, and feel more in control of your direction. Because intelligence isn't a trophy you earn. It's a way of engaging with the world, a way of seeing, a way of thinking. But both of them to destroy the quality of the world. Not all 5. Make some thinking. You might be surprised how different life feels when you stop trying to know everything and start learning how to think. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment telling us which mindset shift resonated with you the most. And if someone in your life could benefit from these ideas, share this video with them. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and most importantly, keep thinking, because that's where real intelligence begins.